Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and in this video, after the video that I made about talking about why I have such a big focus on trading natural gas ETFs and ETNs, I got a lot of questions about what are the top ETFs that I trade. I want to make sure that you guys understand that this is 100% my opinion. None of these ETFs are like the best ones for everyone. They're just the ones that within the past couple of years, I've grown some form of understanding and have found to be, the most attractive. These are not the only ones that you should stop at, but I think that it's a good starting point that you can build off of. So if you guys agree, I'd really appreciate your thumbs up. So I'm going to start sharing my screen just so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm going to be covering today. And not only am I going to talk about the ETFs, but I actually want you guys to get access to our cheat sheet list. This was actually made by one of our Learn Plan Profit members. A huge shout out to him. I actually put his name on the very bottom. It says created by, and then his Discord username. He made this, and I want to talk about natural gas, crude oil. This is gush and drip, right? And then the overall index that it closely follows. This is the gold future, silver future. This is LEB, this is biotech, and this is the biotech index. And then we got the NASDAQ and S&P 500 future. So if you want to download this, little, what we call it is the ETF cheat sheet, all you have to do is click the first link down below. It's absolutely for free. It does not cost you one penny. We just send it to you over Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook account, create one, and then we'll send it to you through that. That's simple, right? But I wanted to go into detail about talking about, natural gas and the correlating ETFs. One of the first things that I need you guys to understand is that why is it important to have access to the correlating future? So I focus a lot on the ETFs and ETNs, but one of the reasons that I find trading ETFs and ETNs so attractive is because the futures trade longer than just the normal trading hours. Within a normal stock, right, it trades from market open to market close, and that's all the patterns that I have to go off of. So going to something like Tesla, right? If Tesla is just about to open, and if you wake up every single morning and you're like, okay, well, Tesla was showing signs of an uptrend during pre-market hour, but I only have this to kind of go off of. It's beginning to pull back, and then I don't know what's going to happen now. There's not enough data. There's not enough patterns. One of the reasons, this is just my opinion, and this is why I'm sharing it. One of the reasons that I find ETFs and ETNs so attractive is because if you find the correlating futures, and we provide that so beautifully right here, these are the ETFs and ETNs on the, on this side, and on the left-hand side, you either have the future or the index. And the reason that's so cool is, the reason I find that to be so useful is, like, let's say that I'm trading degas. Let's say that I'm trading degas and I'm like, okay, I want to see how this thing is trading. I don't need to just trade and go off of the patterns that I have here. I can actually go to the correlating future and I have all of this. This thing continues to trade throughout the night. It continues to trade all morning. So I have a lot more data to kind of analyze to determine I think it might be worth trying. Again, these ETFs and ETNs that I trade, a lot of them are triple leverage, such as UGAS, DGAS, JNEG, and JDST. Therefore, it is probably not in your best interest to hold these overnight. If you have seen any of my videos, I solely focus on day trading. There has been times that, it does make sense for a very short period of time to hold them overnight for a short swing trade if that was your initial plan. A day trade should never be converted into a swing trade because your day trade didn't go according to plan. So I want to talk about these very quickly. So we talked about natural gas, UGAS, and DGAS. So what we mean by this is that /NG, and these futures change over time, but /NG, natural gas or UGAS follows. So when UGAS goes up, then when natural gas goes up, so does UGAS. The inverse ETN, right, is DGAS. So when UGAS goes up and natural gas goes up, then DGAS goes down. So it does the exact opposite. Going and talking a little bit about crude oil. So today was the crude oil report. This was in favor of crude oil, which is in favor of UWT. So when crude oil pushes up, then that means that UWT pushes up. When UWT pushes up, the inverse is DWT. That pushes down. It does the exact opposite. Going and talking about SP, well, you guys get the gist, right? So gush, drip, I really don't trade this index much anymore. Gold is a very popular one within our group. So again, this is gold, right? And I do want to talk about, so when gold goes up, JNUG tends to go up. So one of the things that I also need you guys to understand is that some ETFs, if they're ETF miners such as, JNUG and JDST, they don't follow /GC exactly. And this you'll see from time to time, but more often than not, when gold goes up, then so does JNUG. The correlating one to gold as well, if I'm not mistaken, should be DUST. Actually, I'm sorry, it's not GUST, it's NUGT. So this is another form of a bull ETF. This one's triple leverage. This is NUGT. So NUGT and JNUG are pretty much the same thing, where you can look into JDST. So this is the bear. So when gold goes up, JDST goes down. And the other version is DUST. So again, when gold goes up, DUST goes down. So I hope I didn't confuse you on that one. The one that follows is silver. This is not one that's super popular just because it has a little bit lower volume. But again, this is silver. So we have USLV and DSLV. USLV, if I'm not mistaken, when silver goes up, then so does USLV. The inverse is DSLV. And again, you guys could see that it doesn't have a lot of volume, and that's personally why I personally don't like trading it too often. And then we have LABU, LABD. Those are very popular for biotech traders. And then we got /NQ and /ES. These are probably, if you like watching the market, right? If you like watching the market and you like following with overall patterns and trends, let's say your focus is not natural gas, it's not crude oil, it's not any of this stuff. It's it's the NASDAQ and the overall S&P 500. These are very popular, and if anything, I would encourage you to potentially just watch these and how they trade. So, we got the overall future /NQ, which is, as you guys can see, the NASDAQ future, right? So again, this trades pretty much all the time. And the correlating ETF is SQQQ, right? So we got /NQ. I'm sorry. /NQ and TQQ. I get confused from the for the inverse ETF. So overall, the market right now is selling off. So then that means that TQs is selling off with the market. So this is the one that goes according with the market, and then it's SQQ, that's the inverse one. So this one goes up when the overall market goes down. That's really good to know, right? Because if there's negative news that's having a negative impact on our market, sometimes people are normally like, oh, let's just go to gold. Let's just go to gold. Well, you don't always have to, right? Now you have another option that you can explore and see if it's something that's suitable for your needs. The next one is /ES. I know a lot of people like trading the S&P 500. So again, this is the S&P 500, and then you guys have the correlating, ETFs as SPXL and SPXS. So that's something that you guys can also look a little bit more into. So I just wanted to make a very simple video explaining and showing, the ETFs and ETNs, right? And then the correlating futures and indexes. I feel like having, this little sheet, if you guys plan to, print it out, it can make it a little bit easier for you to understand. This is still a lot of information to take in. And one of my biggest recommendations is to not be all over the place. My recommendation for you is not to trade any of these. It's to find your niche within the market. So I really hope that this little cheat sheet can get you one step closer to, finding your niche and making it that much more enjoyable when it comes down to day trading in the stock market. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I plan to make about 4 more of these cheat sheets talking about pattern recognitions, talking about trend lines, talking about candlesticks. So I hope that that's something that you guys are excited for. Of course, they're all going to be for free. So if you want to download this ETF cheat sheet, that's going to be that first link down below. I really hope that we earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to join our free Facebook group. That's going to be that second or third link down below. It says Free TechBot Solutions Group. And if you guys want to join us tomorrow for the natural gas report, it's one of my favorite days to day trade in the stock market. We'd love to have you to join us, and I want to make sure that the Learn Plan Profit team is a good fit for you. So if you want to check that out, click the third link down below, learn a little bit more about the Learn Plan Profit group, see if you enjoy the live trading session, and if you do, we'd love to have you to tune in tomorrow for the natural gas live trading session. I really do appreciate you guys' time. Like always, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.